The next part about Google Slides that we want to talk about is animations and transitions. You can have a great looking slide where you've done lots of work and input things, pictures, text, but then you can add animations and slides to those and make them even better. So I'm going to go back to our slides here that we've been working on, and I'm going to jump back up to the first one. And let me explain that anytime that you are adding anything, a text box, anything that you're inserting, a picture, whatever it might be, that particular thing that has a line around it is called an object. Okay, so anything that you have that will have this line and these little points on it is called an object. So here I had this as an object. I even put this name. I put this shape. Well, the shape, okay, so see how that whole shape is an object, but also inside that object I added that text box, okay? So those would actually be two different objects. Now, let's say that I wanted, first of all, to have transitions for my slides. So here at the top, again, where we were talking about background, you see one that says transition. Now, if you go here, it talks about animations, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So right now we're just going to talk about transitions, and that means what is your slide going to do as you switch from one slide to another slide. You can have no transition whatsoever, okay? Or you can click there, and remember, anytime you see a caret or an arrow, there are more objects or more options. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to add this one to, or ask this one to be a cube. Okay, now once I set what I want it to do, then I can make that motion, and you'll see it in just a moment, go from slow to fast. I typically try to stick in the middle, just depends on what I'm doing, what the slide presentation is about. Now, I want to go ahead and apply this to every slide. I do not have to do that. I can make every slide individual. See how I've clicked on this one? Right now there's no transition, so I can come in and have this slide do something totally different. But let's say that I wanted them all to be cubes. So I can put apply to all slides. Now I can tell it to play that. Okay, so I can play it and it will come in. That's the cube. Now, once I play that, to be able to do anything else, I need to click stop. Okay, so I had that to apply it to all slides. So every slide now, when I click here, see, it doesn't say no transition, it says cube, because I told it to make every one of them a cube as far as the way it's going to transition. Now, let's go to the next slide. Let's talk about these different objects on here. So let's click on this one. When I click on that object, because this transition box was already open, you can see that the slide itself is going to be a cube. But now it says add animation. So these are transitions and animations. So if I want to click add an animation, okay, so this is key leader, and it kind of gives you a picture of what you are working with, okay? It says fade in on the click. Well, I can change those. Remember, here are more options. I want it to fly in from the left after the previous thing. Well, what does that mean? After this movement, the transition. So it's going to come in after my slide comes in as a cube. Okay, again, I'm going to slow that down. Now I can play it. So here comes my slide. It's going to turn like a cube. Everything else is still there, but look, this is going to slide in. Okay, and then I click stop. Now I'm going to add another animation. So I'm going to click here and say add an animation to it. This time I want it to fade in. I'm going to leave it fade in, and that's what it must default to that. And then I'm going to say after the previous movement. And again, I'm going to bring that down a little more, play it. So here comes the cube. That's my transition. Here comes my topic flying in from the left, and then the name appearing. Now I can have this object add an animation. This time I want it to just appear after the previous or with the previous. So when Thomas Jefferson comes in, the other will come in. Okay, and I'm going to slow that down a little bit, and then let's click play. So again, there's my cube. Fly in from the left, fade in, and there comes my arrow. Okay, so those are some different things that you can just make your slide presentation just a little more interesting. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to say present. And now watch what happens. When I click, it's going to go to the cube. Here comes key leader in history, the name, and then boom. Okay, so again, I can make those do several different things. You have several options there. So I'm going to exit presentation mode, and hopefully you'll be able to apply these things to your slides.